Welcome to episode 4 of Talking Cricket with Akash. Akash today will talk to us about the first test match between India and Australia, where India absolutely slaughtered Australia, winning by 8 wickets in the second innings. And what better place to start than the opening combination? 12 for 2 in the first innings and 36 for 2 in the second innings while chasing down a really small target. What's wrong with the opening combination, Akash?
Two innings are never enough to actually judge a player or an opening combination per se. But then the opening woes, as we have been calling it, is getting deeper with every test match. We've already dropped Gautam Gambhir from the test lineup. Murali Vijay has been given an opportunity, but then he's also failed to impress in the first test match. Well, again, we can talk about just 2 innings and hence he deserves a few more goes. But then the answer is still not there. We are still searching for the perfect or at least a stable opening combination which can provide us with good starts. Because while it's okay in India, we can still manage somehow. But come overseas tours, when we go to South Africa, New Zealand, England, we need to nail this one. The opening combination has to be a permanent opening combination which is providing regular starts and laying a solid foundation. Unfortunately, that isn't happening at the moment.
We just cannot avoid the topic of Mahendra Singh Dhoni again, can we? Slamming a fabulous double century. Coming just a little up the order at number 6 seems to have worked for him really well. He scored a 99 against England and now he's got this double century against the Aussies. Rahul Dravid has said that he must bat at number 6. What do you think about that?
If you look at just the stats, obviously they're flattering. They give you the impression that he's perhaps the best number 6 India has ever had. Obviously, the sample size is too small to draw conclusions. But then he's opened up a debate whether he should be batting at number 6 or somebody else should be batting ahead of him and he goes back to his original number 7 position. Well, when I look at it with regards to playing in India, I think number 6 is fantastic because he's someone who could be the bridge between the top order and the lower order. He's someone who would take the attack to the opposition and change the game completely in a session or two because of the way he bats. And hence, there is a strong case that he should continue batting at that number. But then, if he's batting at number 6 right now, then it's only plausible to believe or expect that he should continue batting at the same number come the overseas tours. And I keep going back to these overseas tours because if we don't prepare well, then we will be found wanting and this is our opportunity to prepare. We failed in Australia or in England because we lagged massively in preparation. We didn't really try out enough people who were likely to succeed in those conditions. So while in India, it works well. But then is it a long-term solution? Personally, I'm not too sure.
In a game where the Indian spinners really dominated, Harbhajan Singh did really badly compared to the others. I mean, Ravindra Jadeja outbowled him. Ashwin was obviously fantastic. Do you think the 100th test match that he's playing would be his last test? And what's wrong? What's he doing wrong?
Harbhajan Singh's form is a major concern and it has been a concern for quite some time. Common sense would tell you that now that he's back into the side, he must have taken a lot of wickets in the domestic circuit to stake a claim. But unfortunately, that hasn't been the case. He's taken about 16 wickets in 5 domestic games, which included games against the teams like Jharkhand or Saurashtra. So if he's not amongst the wickets in domestic cricket, it's rather naive to believe that he would come into a test match and will be the Bhaji of old. It's not going to happen that way, and that hasn't happened. Personally, if you would like to compare Ashwin and Harbhajan Singh's way of operating in the first test match, there were some stark differences. Harbhajan Singh was bowling a lot quicker. On the contrary, Ashwin was willing to flight the ball a lot more. Ashwin was looking to turn the ball, and Harbhajan Singh's balls were not turning that much. He's lost a bit of spin, which is alarming and disappointing at the same time because that's a spinner's main weapon. If you're turning the ball, everything else will take care of itself sooner or later. And I think while Ashwin ticked all the boxes, bowled slower, bowled fuller and turned the ball, Harbhajan Singh did not tick any of these boxes and hence struggled.
Let's talk about the Aussies for a while here. Can they get back from this drubbing?
We expected Australia to struggle in all fairness. We knew that the cracks were there and after the first test, unfortunately for them, the cracks have widened a little more. Their proficiency against the turning ball with regards to their batting is under a scanner, and their spin bowling was pedestrian, to say the least. In fact, Nathan Lyon started well initially, but when Dhoni counter-attacked, he didn't know what to do. From then onwards, he was bowling full tosses, bowling long hops, and that was club-class spin bowling, I can assure you that. So now, looking forward, you would expect Australia to fight. You would expect them to display their never-say-die attitude. But then attitude cannot win you test matches. That's the unfortunate side of things. You need the skills, you need the personnel. And this Australian team is definitely short on that. They may want to consider playing Xavier Doherty. In fact, I think he should play because the conditions are demanding another spinner. But then will he be able to make a serious impact? I'm not too sure. So I don't see things improving for Australia from here, at least not in Hyderabad, which will be again a dust bowl. Things might improve as the tour progresses, because the third test match is at Mohali, and however much you try to prepare a dust bowl there, I think you won't be able to. But then the next challenge, which is in Hyderabad, they're up against the odds once again.
Let's move on to someone who's tweeted in a question for you with the hashtag Talking Cricket with Akash. So this is from Aditya Sharma, whose Twitter handle is @OnlySachin'sFan, and he says, seeing the competitiveness in modern era, shouldn't the BCCI switch to green pitches instead of going with the pitches that we saw, for instance, in Chepauk, which was a proper turner and a dust ball?
It's a good thought. It's a very noble thought, but I dare say it's not the right thought, because the beauty of cricket lies in playing on different conditions and different challenges that are thrown at you because of the conditions that you're playing on. You go to Australia, you play on hard, bouncy pitches. You head to South Africa, you'll get some bounce and pace once again. You head to England, there'll be some sea movement throughout the day. And then when you travel to the subcontinent, you better be prepared to playing on turning pitches. And I think that's what makes this game beautiful, and that's what all cricketers crave for. They like a challenge. If you go on to standardize all the pitches across the world, I think cricket will be a very boring game. Since we are Indians, we tend to react differently to different things. When we go overseas, our batsmen struggle on green top pitches, and we question their technique. Yes, it does require a special skill set to deal with the pace, bounce and movement. But then playing a turning ball also requires a different skill set. And Australians or South Africans or English players, they need to learn to cope with it. And that is when they will become better cricketers. It has happened in the past. India has done well overseas. These guys have come to India and have beaten India at home. So this is something which must continue. The home team should always have a huge home advantage. But losing a toss should not mean that you lose a test match. And if that has been taken care of, I'm absolutely fine with the turning pitches, green top pitches, or seaming pitches with a lot of bounce in it, because that is where the real challenge lies.
So that's all the time we have in this 4th episode of Talking Cricket with Akash. If you want to send in your questions and you want Akash Chopra to answer it himself, tweet with the hashtag Talking Cricket with Akash. Well, that's it for now. Chop chops.